Took about a half hour to get my room into this state for a new Mad Science Hour. What is this Mad Science Hour? I sort of promised it to the stream followers, but I think I'll get way more views here. New Gimbal. Gimbal? Gimbal. Gimbal. New gimbal. Old GoPro gimbal was Hero 4 compatible, which is the one that's on my head. I'll listen to you in a minute, baby. Westworld is coming. New balanced cable for that. So, Hero 5 SLR gimbal. Microphone. Grape microphone. Oh, God. Microphone plus Hero 5 plus 48 volt phantom power plus, actually the thing's over there. So I should just buy a second one if it's going to be constantly unplugged. Mic adapter. Anything else I got a plus? For fuck's sake. I mean, these sort of count. These are the earmuff things that do wind noise reduction. But they're light and I'll deal with that when it comes. All this has to turn into a DSLR. Sized and weighted thing. Because that's the thing about this gimbal. Is it works fucking flawlessly. Hold on, let me turn it on. Alright. Look up. Look down. Oh, just. It is. I gotta set the mode. Boom. So here's crazy gimbal, right? Crazy gimbal. It's great, it's smooth, it's quiet. If I put it into a different mode, which I will learn how to do eventually. That's reverse. You get it. You get it? This is a gimbal, and I've got it attached currently there. And it will go, see now it's in look mode. So if I look down, it looks down. If I look up, it looks up. Turn right, turn left. I've got that set real, oh wow, I can actually feel the motor fighting things. And I think it'll work upside down too. I just have to set it. Oop, don't do that. To be upside down. It's got a whole bunch of cool features, right? Great. Shut off for a second. Actually, shut off for the whole goddamn night. You off now? Good. I need, because when you take the camera off, which I have just for temporary sake, my I didn't have to do that because my Samsung, and it's Infinite 360. This Samsung NX1000 on it was just on it to give it some sort of ballast. And this isn't a very heavy camera, and it works with this. My question is, so now see how it's just like that's it? You could only balance out so much of the weight of the motor, because this has to sit basically floating and then it can function. I can't just like strap the GoPro onto the bottom of this and it weighs nothing and it doesn't do anything, and then it's like, all right, motor, force that down and keep it there. It wants a symmetry. Now you could adjust out, sort of like, well, that would be for like an insanely heavy camera, so we're not going there. We're gonna go all the way in. And then you could adjust this up and down. And again, that would be for an insanely high center of gravity camera, so we're gonna raise this all the way up. And then even this is adjustable front to back, and that's depending on if you have a huge lens, you want it to sort of sit level. Actually, how do you adjust that? Center of gravity. I'm gonna pull this one all the way back. How do I want that? I don't know how I want that one yet. Anyway, the point is, all that shit has got to be assembled in a way that it can sit on this. I could take this off. This is the lens retainer. Actually, I could take this off entirely. Just don't drop anything or lose anything, boys and girls. Shit. shit, that's got a long ass screw. It's comically long. That is a comically long screw. That, now this has to get loosened and slid. Now this whole thing can come off. Yeah, this is for holding a DSLR lens, and that might happen in the future. There's your little support, but it's not happening now. So put that down. Now, the way this attaches is you've got this sliding thing that's supposed to adjust for a SLR, DSLR, and then you could lock it in place like that, and you're good. Now, since this, nothing here has a 1/4-20 on it, I have one of these to screw up into a 1/4-20, which I may have to start digging, depending on how I'm formatting this. Basically, tomorrow, it's what time? Alexa, what time is it?
It's 7:54 p.m.
It's 7:54 p.m. Tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., I'm driving to a hill climb 3 hours north of me. So, actually, no, I gotta be there earlier than that. Fuck. Point is, it's either don't do this, have it set up like I did for Lime Rock and just on a tripod, and I'll be fine, or work. Actually work. And there's soldering irons out, and all my fasteners and heat shrink and wire cutters and pieces of extra wire, because my goal has always been to disassemble. I wanted to get the weight off of this, but now I'm thinking it may. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. To connect this microphone to this 48 volt requires this cable. This whole fucking cable with the 5-pin to 2 3-pin XLRs. And that is unacceptable to be mounted in a clusterfuck up here. Now, I void warranties is I wrote that shirt when I was a child. Here is the thing we would normally use to hold a microphone. Here is the actual original GoPro clamshell. What's gonna hold the camera? We need that. And that attaches obviously with one of the GoPro standard fucking thingies. Which, now I've got from that cheapo $90 camera that's actually really good, and I have to get the review done eventually. I've got infinite amounts of GoPro adapters. I got this sort of adapter, which if I use that, I get 2 screw down points. I could ignore the, just remove this and just get an arc. Or, see, I have this one that's actually a 1/4-20 sticking down currently into a 2. So that will hold it, but it won't be enough. It won't go up. I need a 3-3 essentially. I don't think I have a 3-3. Here's a sliding clip mount, because I gotta start taking shit apart. And once I get things down to their rawest level, people make short videos on YouTube, doesn't make any sense. I gotta open this up. My goal is open this bitch up. This runs on a 9 volt, which is not currently in it. Here's a 9 volt, and I'm gonna phase that out at a future date. Right now, it's too hard to find the voltage regulators and start soldering that shit together. My goal is to take this off, although it does have a 1/4-20 on it. This would give me my 1/4-20 mount. This thing, this stupid thing. And then I could just mount everything to it temporarily. I hate the idea of that. Another thing I'm going to be messing with is these levels, these volume levels, do actually need to be adjusted. Like actively. Usually you could set and forget, but sometimes you just want to tweak. And if they're up on the gimbal head itself, that's going to suck. To like reach up and start fighting with the gimbal or wherever the hell these are placed. My goal is to take this apart. Take this apart. Can't take this apart. Wire directly, either with, I'll get some connectors and make something that's smaller and not as stupid as this to go from this to this. And then this long ass wire I can cut down and resolder it to 4-pole so they can go into this. Because right now this is how this works. Boom, 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 boom. And then don't forget to go boom, all the way up. I don't know if there's a left or right. It doesn't matter for this demonstration. But boom, boom, boom. So we've got this like 5-foot chain of things to make sound go. Because if I'm gonna do videos, they're gonna be the best audio quality I can muster. And right now, that $200 mic's doing it. You are just ballast. You go over here. So I want to condense this into a unit, into a solid, like, brick of this is my thing, and I could attach it to this DSLR, and I could take it off, and it has access. I want to be able to see the screen on the back of this camera to adjust settings because the app doesn't work great. But I also need to be concerned about where the microphones are on this so that they don't, I mean, I shouldn't be doing too many crazy maneuvers with it. But if that's the front, these microphones should be in front of everything except not in the view of the camera. All right, let's take apart the microphones because that's the easiest part. Worst case scenario, I don't record this hill climb tomorrow, and I've literally put everything on hold now currently because of this. By the way, this is a rubber mat material that's covering my actual like yoga mat material, so I can't fuck it up too bad. Well, that came out really easy. I didn't even need to break. And I should get a magnet or two. I have one here just to hold screws. Fall out. I hate when they don't fall out. Is what the doctor said about babies. Alright, well, it's disconnected. Fall out. Okay, now it fell out. So this is it. This is our whole microphone assembly, mofo. Is it using the ground? It's grounding on that. It's only one wire from each capsule mic that's being ground on this. And then the 5-pin here, how are you even set up? Did you get pulled out? See, this is the part where it's like, guess what? You're gonna break everything. It won't pull in. It's got to push out. That's the only way that'll work. Should I take note of the way that the wires are? Black, white, red, yellow, blue. I have no idea what those are. One of them should be ground, and then depending on what's coming off this. Okay, so how is this supposed to work? This must pull out just enough. I can give it a little bit of a shove. Oh, please don't break anything, you prick. Do this. By the way, if I break this video will never see the light of day. I will just cry for about 2 weeks. So how do I get you off? Because I'm not I could desolder right here on the board and just assume that I know what they're going to be and then hope my soldering skills are up to par. Because that's essentially what I'm doing, is I'm taking those 5 wires, and now that I know what you look like, let me move you. I need a magnet. I need a magnet. I need a magnet. I need a magnet. I had a magnet. Did I put the magnet back? A strong, stupid neodymium magnet. That one's in use. There you go. Good girl. Unique melody. And those will not be lost now. So the microphone internals are pretty simple, and it's 5, not that small of a wire that I can't like. I think I can handle it. I think I can handle it. Take this apart. Do I take this apart? If I take this apart, you see, I've got this video going, which is sort of egging me on, and my ideas are sort of flowing. Like, why don't you temporarily do this? But I know what happens if I do something temporarily. If I like use this wire and get this to be my quarter 20 mount for the gimbal, That's to be the way it is forever, and I want this to be more complete than that. And I have enough time. It's not midnight. Now the only question is, how does this fucking clamshell come apart? Because they're always fucking stupid. There's a clip somewhere. There's no screws that I could find. Oh, this unit, by the way, is $100 fucking dollars. Another $100 unit, $200 microphone, just hundreds of dollars. Play around with that shit. I'm trying to squeeze it to feel. There should be an outside and an inside. And if I squeeze this one, it'll be harder than if I just squeeze this one. And this doesn't have a split down the middle of it, so that's gonna be. Why would they put this together without fucking screws? I hate that. Whatever. I'm sure there's someone who knows how to take this apart without damaging it, but guess who that isn't? Me. Slide it down. Who's cringing? Who's an electrical engineer that's done this 100 times and knows exactly how this works? Don't use a metal screwdriver, you jackass. Okay. I'm gonna wedge other screwdriver in there to hold it and move down the line. Oh, there's a hold. Okay. I don't want to just jam screwdrivers in there either. That's bad news. Okay, so this is definitely the top of the shell. Question is this small screwdriver going to be wide enough to do what I need it to do? Don't lose my... Once you get that space, you got to keep it. You can't let it go. Coming from a person who's taken things apart that never go back together, just pointing that out. Don't jab too far either. Hold that. Let's move to the other side. I know it should be a mirrored hole on the other end of this to get in there. And don't stab yourself for the love of God. Oh, pinch your fingers in it, buddy. Okay. So there's our two spaces, essentially. Something here feels like it's clipped, unless this... See, there's no way to remove that. I thought that might have been screwed in. So we're definitely... We've got the clamshell up on both sides. I think I'll feel better, by the way, if I stop the camera at this point and then continue. It's been a while since I've done this, so I'll apologize. So this is a very shiny sticker. Look at it. Which would not come off without a heat persuasion. And then under it reveals the screws that I can't fucking find. Which is why I couldn't get this apart. So thank you, Mr. Heat Gun. You are indispensable, and I want to thank Phil from Auto Obsessive. I'll link his channel in the description. He basically, he's the go-to guy, and he was doing center console panels on his Mustang. Auto Fanatic, that's his channel. And he's like, yeah, you want to use a heat gun on these, or else you'll snap all the clips. And I'm like, all right, maybe I should use a heat gun just to check. And sure enough, sure as shit, the heat gun revealed it's just, this is all screwed together. It had to be screwed together. I mean, they could do it with clips. Why would you fucking do it with clips? It just didn't dawn on me that this cover is probably perfectly hiding these three annoying fucking screws. So I damaged the outside a little bit, not, you know, I could sand it out and it'll be gone. Okay. So now, look at that. I've taken the caps off. Oh, that's got to go in. There's a screw here, that is. There's a switch there that I don't want to bend up too much. For mono and stereo. So here is our circuit board. Well, there's actually a lot more on this than I thought there was going to be. It's a board that goes down. It's soldered straight onto it. Can I get this out now? Or what are you being? Let's do another screw. How many screws here? Just the one. I will at some point check to make sure that this thing still works, because that's a shorter screw. That would suck. So there's our battery, there's our power terminal, and here's our output for the thing. Wow, what a fucking nightmare. Guess it's worth $100. All this stuff in here. So now, I don't think I could remote these, simply because there's too many connections. What, 6 each? And at that point, it's just, you're going to add noise, because this is an audio device. This was the cheapest, smallest solution, by the way, to just get 48 volt stereo phantom power into a proper connector. It was just this unit. So let's see. I was wondering what that was. It's just insulation? How would it even be there? Okay. Okay. Okay? He's okay. He's okay, yeah. Well, this actually labels it MC, ground, right, left, and ground. I think MC is not in use. So, I was hoping that these were just wired up to the board, and I could just tap them off and boom. But it looks like I'm gonna have to do some major fucking surgery if I'm gonna take this thing apart, like I want to. Because this whole thing has to stay, and then I gotta protect all this. It's not like I could just be like, all right, just throw it on there exposed so that sweat and any drop of rain can ruin it. What I basically have to, what I'm doing in here, this is what I've come to the conclusion is what I'm doing in here. I'm making this not XLR. If I desolder these entirely from the board, that would be the easiest way to do it. There are quite a number of fucking connections though, and that seems like a lot for just XLR. Give me a magic marker. Before we proceed, magic marker. Black will do, even though we're on black plastic. Because I'm gonna desolder the negative, positive. That's important, I need that. It's very sticky still. Thank you, heat guns. Thank you, heat gun. I'm amazed I didn't blow the circuit to this room running it also. Always have a half full glass of water around everything that's important. This is a mad science hour rule. I gotta plug you in. You are heat gun. Are you cool yet? Room temperature. Down, down. All my baby screwdrivers came in. You do good work, boys. So I'm just gonna detach this so it's not hanging there doing nasty stuff. We're literally almost at temperature because you buy a Hacko. Because you buy a Hacko. Now I don't have a desoldering like sponge or anything. 700 should be enough. You can see my soldering skills are top notch. 820. I haven't used this in a while, but it should still be. Dude, what is this solder? Let's try this. It should have liquefied instantaneously. Come on. I know it's a big glob, but yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 820 is already pretty goddamn high. Let's try 860. What is this, solder fucking glue? It's doing something. Jesus. There it goes. Okay. Dude, that took fuck all forever. Okay. Okay. So now, this I could shorten at my leisure. And actually, I do like the... Oh, that's exposed. Is that good that they... I guess it's fine. So this heads up to the camera. This is the monitoring port for my headphones when I'm listening to it. Getting this off is going to be a fucking nightmare. Half of these have got to just be anchor points. My lord. That is some dangerous looking stuff to be playing with. Especially never having undone like those. If I get rid of them, does it really benefit me, or could I just tap off the back? They're just so fucking big. I've got one. Gee, I mean, that's just like one. I'm assuming those three are the actual connections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's 9. How the fuck is there 9 things? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna have to do some research. Alright, shut you off for a second. Do I have a mouse? Does mouse as have ooh? And every workstation should have a mouse and keyboard and computer monitor and music. Of course Firefox is installing an update. I'm gonna look up soldering. Could it be because it's a combo connector? It shouldn't matter. It should use the exact same pins in the back. Alright. I'm gonna deal with this and I'll be back. Sometimes I wish it was Rick, but I'm not Rick, and I have to know that. Knowing your limitations is important as a human, and then knowing if you can go beyond them. And frankly, I don't think I'm going to be able to go beyond my limitations of fucking soldering with this nightmare. Because I've got a couple pages up. I got Parts Express, had a wiring diagram. Where is it? That's how it's put together. That's the back of one of them, because I had to find ones that, I mean, look at that. That one's got 4, 10 things. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, 11. That one's got 11 contacts. 11. Could it possibly have 11 contacts? And some of them are going, I mean, I see those there. I see that there, and then one above it. In order to do this, I need to blow my goddamn... Not fun. So, thought. Picking up what I'm putting down? So, okay. I've just converted that to 3.5 millimeter. I could deal with that. I could deal with 3.5 millimeter stereo. Instead of giant, you know, I've just taken off like that much. It's not much, but at least I can custom make. I don't want to have to. Custom making this is irrelevant because I'm still going to have this massive connector. And then the big important part comes with that. Getting rid of this entire section. Getting rid of the bottom of that microphone and that entire section and making it just a flat plane. It's also going to be exposed, which is going to suck. Put you back. So I think for now, I'm going to be reassembling this. And that half-ass shit that I said I didn't want to do, totally doing that. Let me strip these wires a little bit better. Come on. God, that wire's slippery. It's like a silicone fucking... There we go. This one's not bad. If you're a cop, you'll know when to put up, when to shut up, and when to pray. Let's hope this thing still works. How about that? I had to probe it quite a bit with a screwdriver. Well, there's really not much on the areas I was probing where things could have gotten hit. Maybe that. That didn't get touched. Yeah, that's scary. That is a scary mess in there. That's, you know, the size of my thumb and all that shit. So until I, you know, joined the robotics club, you know, 400 years ago, and I'm the greatest solderer ever, get a float. I need a desoldering station just to get off of that. And then if I wanted to just, all right, well then I'll just jump it out. Oh, I'll just attach here and then I can pull out wires. Fuck that, because I'll just do this. And now I probably have 9 auxiliary cables. I could plug them in. I could get an aux cable, plug them both ends in, and then cut the middle, and then I have exposed wires. So that's done. That'll be done already. Here, I got one sitting here. You want to see how easy this is? There's one. There's 2. Cut the middle, exposed wires. And then I could deal with something that small and light and not a goddamn XLR. I was hoping to gain some space by taking the shell off too, and that would have been if these were attached up. I could have detached them. It would have been a flat board. I could have gotten something much... I could even just modify the cover, or just kept the cover and slice this down and put it back on it. It would have been perfectly fine. Yeah, that clip's never working again. I mean, it could if I glued it. Anyway. Well, that's not happening, obviously. So this is basically all going back together. And the shitty part is now I have to solder. I loved learning how to solder as a kid. I did so many things that were probably very illegal in the electronics world. Don't need you. It's time to undo our adventure. It felt like we were going to go on an adventure. Oh, Rick, we're going to go on an adventure, Rick. It's going to be great. Shut up, Morty. Your adventures are stupid. So now this has to go... Because I don't know what the fuck that solder's doing. I'm gonna just up this solder. We're gonna try to float it a bit. Yeah, it's starting to liquefy. There we go. Drop that one in. I shouldn't need to do that for this. Touch. Wait for it to melt. Push our wire in there. We're good. Yeah. Okay. All soldering that has been undone has been redone. I can at least accomplish that. That wire goes back in place. There is a switch here that's going to have to get... This has guides for the board. We're undoing our mistakes. You bit off more than you can chew, Zeos, Pantera. I feel like it's sitting straight. I mean, that's in. We had the one short screw. I just remember the title of the movie that the last movie John Candy ever made. Wagons East. Because fuck it, this place is too hard. We're going home. I never even saw that movie. I just knew that that's what this feels like. Well, it's bending a bit. Why is that bending a bit? I can go sideways. That's down. That's down. I want to make sure I'm not fucking this too hard. The connections aren't grounding out or anything. That looks good. That looks good. Also, wait, there are those two. What the fuck are those? Are there already 3.5mm inputs? Son of a bitch. Punch everyone in the fucking face. There are already those. And I wasn't sure if those were... See, I still don't know. I still don't know if that'll pass through 48 volt. Because it has to power that mic. And I know the XLR will do it, but I'm not sure what those will do. But it should just be 3 posts, 3 posts, 3 posts, 3 posts. It should all be 3 posts. How would I even check that? I've never like used a multimeter to check if 48 volt phantom power is happening. I just got to be careful of that wire up, that switch up there. Come on. I believe in you. Oh, I'm hitting the, wow, I'm hitting that hard. Does it have grooves? It does not have grooves. How the fuck is that supposed to set there? Feels like that's what I want to do, but then these don't line up even in the slightest. So maybe this see, that's bad news now. This is a little tiny switch here that's got this cover on it, and if I put the cover in here first, there's no fucking way I'm gonna know if I'm actually gonna land in that. Let's push it to one side. It should, and of course it fell out. Yeah, I feel like there's a way that this goes. If I leave that out, this will go together real easy. I just go boom. I mean, I actually don't. Once it switches to stereo, I don't need that extra switch. And actually, it'd probably be beneficial to not have this switch in there, so I don't accidentally switch it to mono. Why are these screw? How are you not lining up? How did I get this fucking thing off if those are lining up so out of kilter? Because that's how that has to go. Then it has to go back. Do these switches? They're like a 1/4 inch back. It has to go this way then. It has to go ass first, and then just miraculously fit over the front. Is this worst case scenario? I mean, look at that. That's not even close to fitting. That'll fit now, but those are just getting smashed. Holy shit. Fucking what? Fucking what, Mike? I'm so... Is that broken from me or that broken from something else? It's not broken from me. There was no pieces that fell out. So there, that's our problem. We could either get those in this hole, right? That's as settled as it'll get, and those are way the fuck off. I mean, way off. Like, that's never gonna work. If I rotate them, there's a slight benefit. That would be the stupidest thing. I mean, I could, oh yeah, I could do that. Wow. So I rotated them and bent it. So now that works. I hate everybody on earth. So I'll leave that switch out, so I have to get a screwdriver if I want to flip that, which is fine. Honestly, that's better. Hope you've enjoyed Mad Science Hour. We are back where we started. At least I've explained some things and gone through hell on earth. I should have charged the GoPro in the time that I was not on. And what I'm going to have to do now is hook this back up. I should have done it like minutes ago while it was still apart, just to make sure everything lights up and works fine. Oh, that's the LED in there, you fuck. The not bright at all LEDs that these things have on them. See, by putting the screws back in before I've tested it, I'm asserting my my superiority over the electronics, saying you're gonna work fine because I said so. Alright. What are my directions? 48 volt is right, and I think I need it in camera mode, which is the left. There's gonna be a lot of further experimentation. This feels like something I want to delay forever. It's one of those projects that I wish I had, like, a girlfriend who could do this shit. Baby, could you hook up my thing, please, so I could be cool? Thanks, sweetie. Okay, make sure nothing here is getting hit. Actually, the ground needs to be attached, so I can't even, like, test that, right? Okay, hold on. What's the little battery puller flap? Whoever invented that was a genius. I hope they live or lived a long life. So that means I gotta put the microphone back together just to test this. Because we're not making contact, so it won't even be able to make sound. Let's move you. Cap you. So now the basic moral of this story is, A, don't get these wires or your panties in a bunch. I guess I'd have to wear panties to know what that felt like. But the amoral story goes as follows. My goal is no longer to take this apart. My goal originally was get rid of this as a giant box, make it much smaller, power it remotely instead of using a 9-volt, although the 9-volt seems to last a long time. Alright, so now we've made a ground contact. I need a set of headphones. Does anybody have a set of headphones? Yes, we do. If I can't just reach in any direction with my eyes closed and grab headphones, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I'm not going to put that cover back on yet. Not just yet. Hey, look, I could actually see the LEDs, because those have to shine through that, and it's impossible to see in the daytime. So I may just get a drill and drill those out. All right. Putting this up. Yep, still works. At least the headphone out works. I can't tell if this works unless I do this. And then do this. Fuck you, Hero 5. With your crooked connectors and your LEDs that aren't big enough and bright enough to even be seen anymore. Fucking waste of time. Recording, test. Monitor, test, test, test. Right channel. Left channel. Check, 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 check. And now I have to literally download that because I can't play it back through anything. We're going to go under the assumption that it's working fine, by the way. Move, 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 move. And this plays so quiet, even at full, because it's a goddamn TRP-50. It's so goddamn hard to drive. That's why they're plugged into that. Into that. See now, so I screwed straight down and I bypassed this. I want to bypass this. This is the problem. Right now, you and me talking just dudes on the internet, or chicks and dudes on the internet. This is the problem. This fucking long, this whole thing is the problem because it doesn't mount like that. If it mounted like this, the way you're looking at it, that would almost be acceptable because then I can just point it forward and it's got the wire comes back, but the wire goes down. Or up, depending on if you mount it and then plug the wires in backwards. It's too fucking fucked. Do I even have... So, alright, let's say... Shut that off. It's about 48 volt. That's the side I want. It's back on. I could probably use heat to get it on a little more permanently, but fuck it at this point. So now the question becomes, and how do I even, can I answer this question? can I answer the current question with adapters? And the current question is, do these small 3.5 millimeters actually support 48 volt? Because there's only 3 connectors. This isn't grounding out the shield. So are those, can I make those, instead of doing what I was going to do with 1/4 inch, because it's already fucking built into it, can I make this connect to my goddamn microphone? We may have to sacrifice some stuff. Be right back. I'm a hoarder now! I mean, you still can, but at least I'm hoarding shit that might actually be useful in the future, which is every hoarder's excuse. So here's what I've got. I've got this Zest kit. This was the first auxiliary cable I bought and had great reviews, and this thing is like crazy strong. Like it hurts when you do that. It hurts my hand to pull that through. But it's also annoying, and I don't use it for anything. So it's a shorty. It's got matching connectors, which again is going to help my OCD. Followed up by my original perfect concept for a headphone thingy, which is you get any auxiliary cable, and then here's your connectors, and these are the ones for the Sennheisers. What these also are going to do is they're going to allow me to plug one of these into one side of this, and then I have now 4 exposed points, which 3 of them will be, it's going to be ground and then hot. So now I could either run testing through this to see if I'm throwing 48 volt through, I don't even know, I guess DC to 200, and then see what happens. And I've got a whole bunch of these alligator clips, and I should be able to alligator clip 2 on one on the other, and then touch it to there, or even simpler, I'll touch it to here, one of these, and we'll actually get to see if the microphone will function through that before I go and start fucking everything up. So that's all without fucking everything up. Jesus is good. The devil is good. Devil is our pal. Whatever the hell the name of what the fuck was that? The Burbs. I'm just gonna just randomly touch and see if we get voltage out of any of this shit. No. Let's try this one. Oh. 4.6 volts. Negative 4.6 volts. Positive 4.6 volts. 4.6. I guess, unless it's AC. No, can't be AC. I honestly don't know. Is it AC? AC voltage? Let's try 200. 9.3. There's something coming out. That's a positive thing. And I have no idea what's currently going on as far as what to connect to where. This is a complete mystery to me. So, we could blow something up, which would be bad. Bad news. I probably should do a little bit of research into what this is going to take. Like, at least what that is. So I could do the correct colors. And then I could figure out the common ground. So I know which one of these is ground. And then it's just a matter of swapping the tops. So, give me a bit. Okay. So now, after doing some continuity testing, just to figure out what goes where, and finding this image, and it took me 10 minutes of just going through images, and that's a female XLR, and this is a male, so I had to reverse the mirror image of it. 3 stays the same, where it just shows me ground, positive, and hot, ground, hot, and cold, and then tip ring sleeve, which is ground, hot, and cold. And this should be correct. So that's responsible for hot. I'm keeping these connectors away from each other. They are responsible for the ground and the neutral. And I brought out some more efficient headphones. So when I throw on 48 volt, either smoke will come out of this, or it'll work fine. 599s. And it's working. It's not very loud. Hello? It may not be giving it full voltage. Shut off for a second. What I could test now, at least I know I have it hooked up right, is I'll plug that in there. It's definitely not. I'm hearing it click on, but it's just not making go. That sucks. Do I have anything else I could test? I mean, unless it's... It should still be throwing a... yeah, 1, 2, and 3. So why? Why? So that worked, but it's not loud. It's not as loud as it should be if I had it completely plugged in. Actually, I can plug one side in correctly. We'll see if that changes anything, because then it's grounding it properly on one side. Both of these are up maximum. Oh, one side is real loud, so... yeah, the XLR side is real loud. Switching it to that doesn't... Actually, why would switching it to that do anything? 'Cause that's camera versus that. That's for the output of this. So it's there. This is working. It's just not getting what it needs. It's infinitely... yeah, it's infinitely not enough. Not enough go juice. Actually, that probably just a ground loop. Let's unplug this. That sucks. I was hoping this would just be simple. Welcome to the Mad Science Hour fucking t-shirts. Well, the microphone appears to be working fine, at least. So what the hell are those on top for? Those have got to be 4 powered mics to be plugged into the top. They're not feeding out the proper voltage. So at this point, it's like... this is weird to hear myself through this. Hold on. At this point, what I'm attempting to do is remove this bulk. The bulk of the XLRs and that. That's it. None of this other shit. Fucking test rigs out my ass. It worked. It worked. I can't say it didn't work. It worked. It just won't work. So it's going to come down to Zeos either buying or disassemble. I don't want to disassemble this cable if I don't have to, because I'm pretty sure it's the only one in existence. You have to buy it with this microphone. Done. So what I'd probably end up doing... what I'm probably going to end up doing... I will desolder these. Probably not tonight. What time is it now? Alexa, what time is it?
It's 9:17 p.m.
Yeah. I still haven't... nothing's even touched this gimbal, and I want this gimbal attached by like 11. I want to be like ready for bedtime if I'm getting up at 5 a.m. to go drive 3 hours north. Because fuck driving on, you know, no sleep. I've done it. It's not fun. Even with like modafinil. Like, hey, sniff this. What? Anyway. So... how do I get that off of there? I wish I could just unplug it too. I don't have any extra XLRs. I don't think I have any extra. I mean, I have. Hosa sent me a shit ton of stuff, actually. Shut this off before I'm running 48 volt while I'm disconnecting everything. I mean, here, look. Here's what we got. We've got 3 wires and the ground, and that's it. That's literally it. I'm gonna have to build basically rip apart one of these heads. I could have sworn I had a 3-pin XLR. I don't think I do though, and if I did, it wouldn't be in the electrical box. Everything is now being shifted into a state of chaos. Believe it or not, this room can be not in chaos, and right now it's about to be entered into the chaos mode, where everything just pulls out. Thank God I don't need to go in the bottom boxes. So here's a HOSA 3-pin. I'm not fucking up my. I will buy a cheap piece of shit set that is not my good HOSAs. Look at these things. Fucking gorgeous. But I'm going to end up taking something like this, ganking it apart. Wow, that ganked apart real easy. And I have a pair. Don't make me do this to my nice HOSAs. I like these cables. I got the hookup at HOSA though. They could just give me more. All right, let's sit down and think about this for a second while I actually do it and not even care. Patreon money. Just keep saying the patrons will pay for it. They want to see you make videos, and I'm gonna be like, what? The patrons? Not like these. That's honestly best case scenario I've seen. Like that just presented itself like a peacock with a, garter belt. Just look at my ass. That's the wrong side. Oh Jesus. Undo. Undo, Cios. Unfucking do. You did a bad thing. Okay. Let's try again. Oh, these have the marks on them because I was using them. Ah, boom. I mean, that's just... And this just, look at that. Just slides back. And there's our wires, heat shrinked and tie-dyed, and so if I commit to this, see, here's the weird shit. Look how finically small these. Here's my thing. Look how tiny and small these wires are. They're adorable. And look at these fucking monsters. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna commit an atrocity. I feel so... I'm sorry, babies. I'm sorry, babies. Oh, I've done it. Commitment time. Okay. Commitment's good. Chicks dig guys who want commitment. Except for those ones who don't. And fuck those girls. It's very rare to have a guy want to commitment immediately, and you're like, no, I just want to fuck for the summer. So, fuck you. I'm projecting now, but we'll go into more detail of that way later. So now, boom, bitty boom. So now I've got to desolder all those, which means helping hands, which means I'm also going to need to leave this together so that I could check every one of those, because I'm about to build a custom cable to go from here to there that's super light and doesn't have a thing, and it's 10 o'clock at night and I want to do this, and I don't believe I committed myself to this bullshit. I didn't actually. It's still, nothing's been modified. But fuck me, man. This is one of those, I wish, like, can I turn back time 2 hours for like $100? $100. Give me $100 for 3 hours. 3 hours. We'll try to get over on the devil or whoever we make this deal with. The quality of that metal. Shit. Let's cut that fucking wires are up. Alright, I just gotta desolder these, which I could probably do with like a blowtorch, but I'm not going to. We're gonna turn the Hacko back on. You don't know where... like, how do you title a Mad Science Hour? How? How do you title it? I don't know how to title it. Close, 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 close. None of these matter anymore. None of you matter. Zeos is going shitty, shitty, shitty school of thoughts. Thoughts. If I play Postmodern Jukebox, it probably won't get muted, but I won't be able to monetize. But then again, monetization on a video like this is not going to have more than like 4,000 views. So it's not like the end of days if I can't monetize it. You know what? Holy shit! I thought it would be... Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna be able to get that shit off if I don't do that. So grab it. Come on. Jesus, what is everyone... Is my Hacko dying or what? Like nothing's melt. My tip is still solid. It's not dirty. It's like, it's just do something, please. I mean, I know there's a lot of... I mean, I got a fucking pressure and everything else. This thing is just not... Just melt. That would be the ultimate... I mean, I'm melting the plastic, like, instantaneously. Tip's fucking hot. I can tell you that pin is goddamn warm. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, if anyone wants to question if Hosta puts their cables together properly, here you fucking go. The answer is yes. Get my blowtorch out. I see how it goes in there, how it's cradled in a thing, like right... But I mean, I'm just holding it on there. Just holding it on there. Waiting for anything to look like it's turning to liquid. Nothing's happening. There's actually plastic on the tip now. There we go. It's as hot as I can get this thing. I mean, I could probably get the Hacko up a little higher. Enter. Enter, enter. 890 is as high as this Hacko will go. 899. There we go. 900 fucking degrees. Go. Pink Floyd will definitely not fly, however. There it goes. Literally the rubber's fucking melting. There it goes. 900 fucking degrees. Okay. Excuse me, red. We're going for blue next. I've never had to take this to the highest setting. Wow. Instantaneously melting the shield. Please remind me to lower that when I go with a much smaller gauge wire to do this. The shield is melting off. And not the solder. What are you doing? You fucking... Come on. Come on, I believe in you. Dude, this is absurd. There we go. Holy shit. I've soldered enough. I don't solder all the time. Every maybe about 2-3 months without soldering something, but I've soldered, you know, all my lights and shit together. I've never had it to a point where 900 degrees on a soldering iron is like, no, fuck you. As much tip, I'm gonna try to, maybe I'll contact this too, see if that helps. I've got my like wedge tip on here too. It's not like it's a pinpoint. Come on, come on. I'm gonna have blued fucking connectors by the time this is done. Oh. This is amazing. My angle's fucking wrong too. Just waiting for something to burst into flames. Fucking maximum temperature on my Hako. How hot is it? Instantly melts plastic. I think we might be close enough to actually start grabbing onto it now. Come on. Come on. This is absurd. I should stop the camera for this, but it's just so absurd. I asked my friend who does I could actually see it. It's like bubbling the wrong. I'm sure everyone's gonna say you have terrible soldering etiquette. See how I'm going like, yes, I know. No one's actually taught me to solder. It's all self-taught bullshit. My handle is now getting real hot. The problem is not getting these off. It's gonna be I'm gonna have to use the same solder to get it back on. It's very small wires. It's gonna just fucking terminate. Come on, melt, please. Please melt. Yeah. Oh. Come on. That didn't do it all. That's so fucked up. Is there something like solder? I know there's soldering glue, but can you actually have like an epoxy solder that hardens to the point of uselessness? Thank you. I'm gonna shut the camera off for the next one because I got to do that whole thing again. And I'm pretty sure if these pins haven't warped from the heat, it's gonna take the exact same amount of time. It literally melted in. It combined with my pan of ice. Hot, hot, hot. Burb. Cat 5. Not Cat 6. This is old stuff. I can't listen to that either. It's a little stiffer. It'll keep a bend. But for now, for what I'm using it for, this will probably be alright. The other side took exactly as long, and it's just out of fucking no idea what kind of solder this is. I know there's like high temperature solder, and that is just the highest I mean, that I maxed the Hako out. That's amazing. I'm stripping this back, and this is how I'm doing. I'm doing a little pinch, not enough to get a wire, just a pinch. And you sort of squeeze it on up there and just nosh at it until you can bend it. Pull that bunch off. Now, how long do I need to make this? Considering I'm putting it on the camera rig, this should be enough length. I need 6. Let's talk about what I need. Give me what I need, baby. Baby, give me what I need. I need it. I wish these were softer, a little bit softer, because I'm gonna be soldering them probably straight onto that board. And if I don't have like, because okay, soldering them straight onto the board is fine, but it's not like it's in the final position. There's gonna be movement and design and all this other shit that has to go on tonight, mostly tonight. Fuck tonight. Okay. We should test something before I move on. Come here, baby. Don't get caught on anything. How am I mounting you? Because again, now that thing I said I didn't want to do, I'm fucking doing it. This with the 9-volt might actually provide enough weight. Where is my quarter 20? That's too far back. Slide it forward. Can I get it to like sit properly? Well, that's a deal breaker. That doesn't tighten down enough. I need to get a spacer. How could it not tighten down enough? Is it sticking out that far? It shouldn't be. 3, 4, 5. This is as tight as it'll go, and it's just floating around. I have a spacer. I have a spacer. Where did this spacer go? I think I had it here. Right there, in fact. Actually, I also have one rubber one on top of this. Zeus has everything. Zeus doesn't know where the fuck everything is. And now Zeus's chair will move forward. Forward! Like progress on things. So, I can do that. Or I can do... Don't lose it. Don't lose it now. This would have to go on here. And then this would have to go... Glad I tested this first. This is a good... It's a good thing, Z. You did a good thing. Is this just so thick it doesn't... Wow. This one is so thick. How thick is it, Zeos? It's so thick I can't even get it to touch the unit anymore. We're going to have to assume if I go up and then pop it through this rubber. Ask your dad about popping through the rubber. Popping through the rubber. That's solid as balls now. Okay, so we got balls solid. Is that the orientation I'm going with, though? Because now I've got that's bad or that's gonna be bad. So let's try plastic bullshit on the bottom. Might actually help. That's once I add the extra weight, I'm going to actually balance this out. So I could slide it over probably. Actually, no, that's as far over as I think she'll go. Right? That's as far as she'll go. So what we're looking at here is the Saramonic. Here's my adjustment levels. Now I'm going to have to mount. Here's where it gets fucking interesting. If I even continue this tonight, my back's starting to hurt. I don't. 3-hour drive is going to suck, and it's going to suck, and I'm going to have to put this in the car and not have a break. But, are those doubled up washers? There are 2 of them there. Son of a bitch. How mount camera go? How mount camera? How mount microphone go? Go. Go. Now I took that piece off of the front of here. Right here. It'll... I don't think I could use... Actually, see, here's the thing. Because that comes off. So that just gives me a quarter 20. Female. This gives me a quarter 20 female. How did this go again? Oh, I think I have to slide it back to make this accessible. Oh, it's being a pain in the dick. Okay, so that's... Oh, see, this is one of the problems of this, because then I slid it back, and now that won't go, because this has to be moved over, so that I could tighten this down, so that I could slide this back over, and tighten it again. So that's a negative, but it's like a one-time negative. I love the quality of this unit, and I'm just pointing that. I want to push that as hard as I can before I do the actual review of this gimbal, is that I love the quality of it. So let's see. So now we've just added quarter female. So I have the ability to either put this on there. What I gotta add is this to hold the camera, and that whole fucking microphone that has no mounting points. The only way to mount that microphone with anything is this stupid fucking thing, which actually... Don't make it that easy. Don't make it that easy. Because, I mean, I got this. Hold on, thought. Hold that thought. Which, by the way, when that first started happening, that whole thought thing, I thought that just meant thought. Like, I had a thought just now. And it would still be detrimental, because... I don't know. I just thought it wasn't what it turned out being. Here's another one of those special connectors. And here is this. Did I only buy 2 of those? See, the issue is I need a 1/4-inch threaded rod. If I had a 1/4-inch threaded rod, which I probably could cut down a bolt with a fucking saw, and it'll fit here, and it'll just hang the actual full-size microphone off the end of this. And how the fuck am I mounting the camera, you dick? You can't just say, oh, we'll do that, Zeos, because then how the fuck do I mount the camera? How the fuck do I mount the camera? Because I do want the camera has to sit between the microphones like I was doing it before. And the ghetto-ass way I was doing it before was, see this pipe clamp for the GoPro? Yeah, I was pipe clamping it onto the fucking XLR, which put it perfectly in line, like right between the things. But that's ghetto as shit. That is ghetto as shit. And Zeos is done being ghetto as shit. I'm done. I don't want to be ghetto anymore. I mean, I've got like speakers for shelf holders, but that's fine, because that's internet ghetto. But this is real life ghetto. This is where people hand you business cards and shit. And I want to look at this and go, Jesus Christ, have my grandchildren. Here are my daughters. But, you know, it's not going to work that way if I can't get this to look good. It's got to look good and function good. And actually, we've got 1/4-20s down here as well. Those are nice of them to provide that. I think for accessories... Wait a second. I almost was cool. I was almost cool for a second. Let's unattach this. Unattach that from the adjustability area. This is not going to be long enough. That's actually a threaded... And it's threaded in there. This is going to work. This is going to work. Somehow, some way, in some world, what I'm currently fucking with will work. I've got enough mounting points on this. I've got an adjustable sliding mounting point. It slides left and right. I've got 2 fixed mounting points. It's all a matter... I was considering after I stripped all this down and made my thing, I'd have to add weight to it to literally... Because there's no other way. This is for the lightest possible camera right now, is what this is set to. It's the farthest over. It's the highest up. And it's still like I'm pushing down with what this camera needs to weigh and where the center of gravity is. I mean, I wish I had a little baby like fingertip scale. It's probably gonna have to weigh like half a pound, at least half a pound, maybe 3/4 to offset the weight of that motor. So if it's balanced, that motor in the back doesn't have to do its job very often, and batteries last forever. If I put the center of gravity out here, it's a little bit lighter. So the heaviest thing is this and possibly the microphone. Here's the thing, though. Welcome to Mad Science Hour. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 9:50 p.m.
It's 10 o'clock, roughly. I know if I walk away from this desk in its current shape, nothing will get done. I won't clear it off to do a review, and I won't sit down and do this because I'll talk about speakers and I'll get speakers done. But that's it. It'll be a fucking nightmare. So let's prevent nightmares from happening. Actually, you want to see something fucking cool? This detaches here with these little Allens, and if I got super serial, I could call my friend with the laser cutting rig, and I could send him this piece. He could remachine the actual connector, and whatever I figured out I wouldn't even need any of this shit. It would just be boom, it's done. One permanent fixed item, perfectly attached with these little tiny Allen key. Oh fuck, that's almost what I want to do now. By the way, I still don't know what that is. That mini USB, because actually I do know what that's for. That's for a Panasonic camera to control from the back. It's like a jigsaw puzzle from hell. That's what it is. Let's assemble this, because this has to be in here. By the way, I hate this is the default one that comes with the GoPro. And on the head rig for streaming, I'm using an alternate one that's slightly heavier. Way better. So here's this. This has got a lot of weight. This has... See, look at... If I do that... Excuse me, headphones. I don't need. I need a 3 to 3. I need a 2 to 3. You fuck. Here's the problem with these connectors. It's a 2 to 3, but I need a 3 to 3. I need the shortest possible, like, assistance, like length assister. Because look, I could just screw this straight into that, straight into it. Just it's all right. It's literally attached, and it's got a back lock, so I could get it nice and level. And I could put one of these on it. Oh, that's fucking great. Yes. Yes, Zeos, that looks great. It's still a 2. The camera's a 2. I need a 3. So here's a fucking 3. This doesn't help. Actually, that would help. Wait a second. If I reversed... I have to turn that, which I didn't enjoy doing. Actually, no, I don't have to turn that at all. Turn this back to tight. I wish that was just super fucking tight. It's not. This might be the part that gets timestamped, so that people know what the fuck they're interested in. Turn this way so that that screw thing isn't sticking out. If I should turn back time, I'd punch you in the dick. Doodle doodle doo. Now what are you gonna do, Zeos? Wait, I won't even need this to accomplish my goal. What's your goal, you stupid shit? Boom, look at that. Okay, so now, being completely off the wall, if I needed to, right this moment, I could reassemble that microphone back to perfectly stock and put it right here. And that'll hold the microphone. And then it's a matter of holding this and the camera. I hate these things. I wish these things weren't gigantic. Right now, Zeos is on, you've got an hour to finish this or we're going to murder your whole family mode. That's a mode. Move. Things I don't need. Things I don't need. Here. Might need you, so stay. Don't need, shouldn't need you. Shouldn't need you. I need you. I need you. I'm not. I think I'm done soldering for this evening. I'm gonna get this done, put away half the tools, and tomorrow forget to even pack this and just drive 3 hours half asleep because it's gonna be so fucking early. Seals don't do early. Line those holes up. That's what she said. Baby, line those holes up. Drop, drop, drop. See, now I'm getting like my second wind, but not my second wind because I figured something out and I'm going to accomplish my goal. I'm getting that second wind you get only when you've quit. Like you had this grand plan. I'm going to build the Eiffel Tower out of cheese. And you start like you're gathering the cheese, and then all of a sudden you realize, wait, this is stupid. I'm just going to eat all this cheese. And then you start eating it and you're super happy. So, one of the nice things about having this mounted to a tripod is that when it's too low to work in it, I crank it up. Right now it's perfect though, except for that. If I could turn back time. Because now here's the thing. I now have to worry about, here's this. Look at that. Don't fuck up the rubber. That's mad heavy, bro. Mad heavy, bro. Start cranking this down evenly, each side. Crank, 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 crank. And this is a cheap thing, so I'm assuming it's going to break at some point. She literally shattered. And I was going easy too. You heard me say we're going to crank it down evenly. Crank, crank, crank. So yeah, that whole thing's split in the front. That doesn't take this entirely away as an option. It's times like this where Zeos is good, because Zeos fucked up. But what I was doing was not going to work after. If it cracked when I transported it, that would be way worse than if it just shattered just now. So shattering just now, not the worst thing. I mean, it's bad, but I'm keeping my calm. I still have this. That is still decently solid. I've got those. I've got this. I just need to make a... Should go to bed. I'll just be done. I'm in too good a mood to just quit now. I'm thinking. This is the part of the night where you start thinking about solutions that normally would be like, that was out of the question. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But no, 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 no. We've got it. We've got this, bro. You got this. That was too perfect a thing. Just to have this mount that mounts to this, that will hold the microphone here, and it actually will like rest right there. I just need to strap across the front with some sort of clamping action. Actually, how long do I have? Longer screw downs? I think I have shorter screw downs. So hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to see what kind of... It'll almost work. It is now a matter of not life or death, or good or evil, of finding the perfect thing. Alexa, set the living room lights to maximum.
Okay.
That's how it goes in the Wild Wild West, because we're a badass cowboy living in cowboy days. Wiki wiki wow yo yo bang bang. Me and Artemis Clydefrog are gonna save Selma Hayek from the big metal spider. This is my box of random bullshit. Welcome to my box of big random bullshit. Now what I need, and you could ask the spirits above, and sometimes they'll grant your wish. What I need is like a metal or plastic plate that has holes in it. This won't work. That would be cool, but it won't work. That is perfect. Fit between the gaps in those things. Guess what my fucking windowsill is gonna look like forever. I'm hearing metal brackety sounds. That's good. We need something along those lines. 15/16. Move things out of the way that will not help you. That won't help me either. That won't help me. Eventually something will help you. Just keep moving things out of the way. Cable tie. That's a thick piece of rubber would work. Do I have a thick piece of rubber? See, now it's brain work things go. I'm glad I'm not streaming this, by the way, because you can't put timestamps in the stream. Spacers, plastic spacers. Actually, plastic spacers, not the worst idea to keep from crushing the next thing down and breaking it. Even if they're huge. Actually, I'm gonna take all of them out. I'll put them in a case when I'm done. First things, okay, plastic spacers and black too. We gotta make sure we stay color coded on this job. Give me a GoPro screw. Maybe I could avoid using massive monster screws also. I'm sure somebody on the internet knows exactly what size this is. These all look too small. Hi fan, how you doing? Good, nice to hear it. Put that back in my pocket as we continue moving along through the box of the unknowing. Cock ring? Actually, these are just little larger versions of the ones I put for the pull downs. A little bit too big. Oh look, Audio Technica ATH M30s. Fuck those things. They sound like ass, don't bother. Pull the pads off, try different pads. Like, no, that doesn't work. Gone. What are you? You're filled with holes. Not the right distance apart, but you are metal. And again, black, which is good for our, what we're going with. Here's a knob to my barbecue. It doesn't work. What are you? You're gorgeous. But you're not going to, you're not going to fit, are you? What are you? Belt clip or something? It's got to be a belt rung loop. 15 amp fuses. It's another temperature thing for the one on the current. Ah! Okay. So here's what we got. That is a vented thing for that. And it should have holes. Where's one in my pocket? Just barely. Like I have to thread it in. Or I think I can. Yes. So I gotta keep this from damaging that. So we're probably gonna end up putting, I need to put this on it. I just need to wrap that rubber back around it. And then we'll cut off whatever part of this we don't need as a bracket. Which will just stay down a little bit. But that should be perfect. Perfect. We could actually leave that end on. I can cut off from here over. I'll give it one more. I don't want to ruin that. Let's ruin this one. Stamp. Stamp. Bend, bend. Garbage. So now, I don't want to have to undo this either, like 9 times. So let's see. Yeah, I know we broke the code of Z by finding one that isn't exactly the right color. But put this in there. I'm going to bend one of those a little bit. So that will now fit much easier. Can I spin it at the end, or am I going to have to screw this in? Yeah, that sort of skips. Okay, where's this one going? That's there. That one goes to the 4th hole. Put things in your mouth all the time. It's the best part. Okay. Put things in your mouth. That's the best part. Yamaru. Yamaru. I don't know what that means, but it was in One Punch Man, and now it's like a thing on the internet. Come on. And you. Now, can I get this? This is the rubber. It's the original rubber from the front, which I may have to cut apart now. But I mean, that'll like, look, that even like lines up. It like even lines up. Can I get you in there? And they said I couldn't be president because I'm a murderer. Lies. Now the good thing about this metal is it'll just bend like a motherfucker and not snap. I'm trying to keep that rubber. The rubber's good there. Oh, I didn't have enough threads in there. One, two. Actually, I gotta loosen this side. Because again, I don't want to break the plastic in the back now, because then I'm just screwed. Can I see? Yeah. We are seated there and there. That's as far as I want to go. Let's push this. Don't scratch my fucking microphone, you prick. We're a little crooked. Now we're less crooked. If I push that back and bend the metal, I can push this, screw this in. Trying to keep as much stress off that plastic part as possible. So, it looks dumb. But actually, wait till it has these on it. Then it can look real dumb. Which is one of the things I have to compensate for right now. Hold on. Always twist them on clockwise. How's that going to affect, like, the angular? I mean, it's not... That's actually pretty good. This was actually never going to look any better than this, like that, like how it looks now. Now it's actually too heavy on this side, so we could actually slide it over. We could almost get it to balance with this. We're obviously gonna have to rebalance all this shit once we get everything else on Earth attached to this. That is step one, and then we need the wire. Because I'm obviously not fucking with the wire today. So that's step two. And I'll have to dealio. I'll have to do some severe dealioing with the cable management on this if I want to get it to run. Ooh, that sort of stops from going down, doesn't it? This might be an abort. An entire abort. The entire thing. Just buy a DSLR and be happy. But for now, we're playing Mad Science Hour. The question still remains, how the fuck am I mounting the GoPro? The GoPro. Remember the GoPro? I remember the GoPro. I remember. You girls can stay. You're coming up, and you're upcoming when I destroy this. See, here's the thing. Once this microphone is not on this stupid stand, and it's got a custom way to mount it, it's got a custom way to mount it. Right, I'm gonna play with this in my head. I don't want to kill the battery. I actually want to upload this video like as a complete, like, hey, look, it did a thing before this battery dies, and before it's 11:30 at night. It's a burp. Fuck still, just still fuck. All right, so here's what I got. Here's what I got. Here's what I got. Got that mounted. Got the wire on it, and it's gonna be some weird shit in a bit. Forgot about this. You see, this is a head to this tripod, an extra head to this tripod. I bought two, and I got one on there now. And I had adhered this GoPro mount to it that has a 1/4-20 fucking mount. So this GoPro mount now takes a slide mount, one of these sons of bitches, that goes click, and then you mount the GoPro to that. And I got that 1/4-20 hole. But the screw that the actual gimbal comes with is not long enough to stick through that. Luckily, I do have 1/4-20 stuff from when I was building my original mount. But it's crazy long, and I have two choices. Because Now it has to go through the gimbal. 10-15. Through the gimbal, and then through this, but then stop, because if it goes any higher than that brass ring, I won't be able to use the thing. So what I've got is some more thicker of those things. Those are obviously that's too much. I'm going to go with one big and one small and see if that helps. Then I can get regular washers out. This is completely against the code of honor that I was trying to uphold. Nope, I actually need 2 of those. Because now it goes through, and it goes through too far. We're gonna have to see. Oh man, this is... I didn't want to makeshift, I wanted to be nice, but this is the most makeshift that I've ever made anything makeshift. Yes. That might be the perfect amount of thread to screw this on. This actually has a little bit of adhesive still on the bottom of it. So I'm going to see if I could just hold it there. Screw this up. Without screwing this up, let's see if I could screw this... Oh, shit. I have to give this a rotation. Wait, this might be best... Nope. Nope. Come on. I need another 90 degrees without you snapping. Okay. This is some weird ass shit. Now, how does this go on? Please tell me you go on from the front. 'Cause I need the GoPro to be far enough forward that it doesn't see the microphones, and that's not gonna happen unless I put like a major. Alright, battery died, and I tried to swap it with another battery I had, and that was dead. And the battery in the fucking Hero 5 is dead, even though I streamed with it and then shut it right off, and it should have been just being powered. Here's what I got so far. I don't remember where it ended. It was too front heavy. The microphones were sticking out way too far with the adapter on the adapter and the thing that bracket I made. And weight is everything, so at least I know when I say I want to strip off all these connectors and everything, that is fucking important. Because literally plugging, like moving the microphone adapter for the GoPro to the other side, that recorded 4 minutes with 0 battery. I'm impressed. Even though moving the GoPro adapt like that thing to the other side, is everything changes, like the whole balance of this shit changes. Which is still not level. It like shifts level. And it takes such a small amount. That's the wrong way. You gotta look at the plate at the bottom, not this. Anyway, so what I did is I pet the Chewbacca. It's 11 o'clock and she wants to climb in bed with me and get fur in my fucking eyes. What I did was I took the standard microphone mount and I took it apart. Here's that. That gave me a hole that was horizontal, that I could either go this way or this way. So I did the same thing I did like with the GoPro mount. I got another 1/4 bolt and a bunch of spacers because I just don't have ones that are the right size. And I squeezed the spacer, then the mount, then spacer, bolt into that sliding motherfucker, which is all the way over this direction. And I kept flipping the camera forward and backwards and forward and backwards to try to balance it with the other setup, and it couldn't do it. It was never gonna balance. So now I'm using the Saramonic here as the counterweight, and it's still not heavy enough. I may have to be super ghetto and get some quarters and some blue tack and just like, because it's like literally that. I can't move it back any further. I can't do anything with the front. I have to have the wind guards on it because I know how this works outside. This wind guard is actually in the camera's view, which sucks. But I mean, I could squeeze this if I could find a way to like. It's just annoying. It's an annoying problem that is now happening. And I tried the furry ones, and the furry ones are just everywhere. So I got to accommodate for the weight of these. Even these are just wind filters, and you see that they're just dragging it down. So I'm definitely gonna have to add like a 1/4 or something like there. We'll do that. We'll do that on camera. I might as well. I don't know. This should last at least another 5-6 minutes. I just walked around the apartment with it, giving it a recording. Quarter. Actually, do we have a nickel? No one uses nickels for fucking anything. Well, oh God. By the way, it's 11:05. Where the fuck is my blue tack? This is where the blue this is where the blue tack goes. The blue tack can't be anywhere else. Zeos knows how his brain functions. If he moves something, it'll be lost forever. I didn't even need an extra pork chop. Alright. I know where there is blue tack. Because I have... There. That's a piece of blue tack. So, I tried twisting this. Like to try to get the battery further back by like 3 millimeters. Or try twisting it this way to try to get these back. And she just ain't going. So let's try the nickel first. Try the quarter. Is the quarter heavier than the nickel? Yeah. It's gonna be the quarter. So we're just gonna go on bloop. And then we're gonna be like bloop. That is literally how we're fixing this. And now it's perfect. Because it just has to go back. Like, how much more does it need to weigh? As much as a quarter. When I build this finally, when I do the final build and I remove all this shit and I get it to be... Because here's the thing. Yes, weight matters and I'm adding weight to it now. But there's mass and it's everywhere. You ever try to pick up like a giant empty cardboard box? It's like 6 foot by 4 foot. It's unwieldy. And this motor is trying to like twist it around at speed and it can't do it. This much weight squeezed into a cube and put in the middle, it'll handle it like no problem. Let's turn it on. My cat's name is Poop Face. And now we could 1, 2, 3. And we should be able to look down. And should be able to look up. It's got a lot of lag. I gotta adjust that in the app. And if I go 1, 2, 3. By the way, I just tried. Yeah, let's get it to handheld mode. See, it just shut off. It just turned off. Why? Because I don't get it. Is the battery dead? I never used it. I turned it off and it wasn't dead. Hi, Chewbacca. Yeah, anyway. So there's... Like, look. By the way, look at that. Look at the space that camera clears under that motor. Can you appreciate how freaking insane that is? Did that just happen to work out like that? Alright. So this is like it's doing... like. I don't know how to adjust this one. I moved it all the way back just because, I mean, maybe, you know what, that might have to go. That might be why it was freaking out. Problem is that's gonna hit right there. Yeah, that feels more balanced. I have no idea how to set this up yet. We're playing games. Zeos is playing learn to use his $500 gimbal. Yeah, that feels. I don't know how to feel this out. Here we're working now. Down. By the way, this is fucking heavy. Like the gimbal itself is heavy. Everything feels heavy. It's like holding a little bowling ball on a stick. Yeah, okay, that adjustment was screwing it up. So now if I want to put different mode is long press, and now we should be in look mode. No. That's still that. Long press, long press. Alright, how about fast? There we go, now we're in look mode. So now that should look wherever I point it. If I want to look down at the floor, it looks down at the floor. This is good for car shows, like when you're hand holding it, because then you could like look into an engine bay and up. Not having it on a stick feels a little weird. Can I do double 1, 2, 3? Oh, I can actually feel it twisting in my hands. So there's your selfie mode. There's your I'm the most important person at this whatever the fuck event. And let me film my face because I'm on the YouTubes. Triple tap. Then it's 1, 2 is normal mode. Oh, that's lock mode. That is literally look south and only south mode. The problem with this mode is now I can actually twist it. So I could do that. I could tell it to look up, and then that's literally it. I have to watch for collisions on this. It's completely blocking the camera. Whoop, whoop, doesn't like that. Does not like. No bueno. So then it's fast to press is back to normal gimbal. So locked horizontal. Locked vertical. And twisting horizontal. And then it's slow. Brings us to lock. No. What does slow do? There should be like 1, 2, 3. Here's backwards. 1, 2, 3 is forwards. 1, 2 is alright. Fast is look mode. That's what I call look mode. They call it something. Oh Jesus, they call it something else. And I don't get control of anything. That's 1, 2 is lock orientation mode. Look one direction. Super cool movie style. And then if you hold mode button down, she'll relax the gimbal and you could actually touch things. Because if you try to turn this on or adjust a knob while the motherfucker is running, she'll go, ah! She'll try to stop you from moving it with your finger, and then she'll be bad news bears. Yeah. I'm going to call this yes. I'm probably going to have it set up on the tripod when we're actually doing, like if we do any walk around stuff, I'll do this. But any stuff where it's like, oh, we're standing on the side of the road for a half hour. Fuck you, I ain't holding this thing. This thing's heavy as shit. So, let's put this up here. I'll put you up here. Just gonna slide this in and then go click. The batteries in this should be good. I can't charge them. I do need to charge the GoPro though. And I have at least, this should be a brand new 9-volt in that. So I guess I unplug this. I was gonna throw the balance of this thing way off. Hold on. Actually, I didn't throw the balance off much at all. So that's how things get done in this fucking mess now. And oh my fucking god, fuck you, room. I can't even check my fucking. I mean, this is. Those boxes just have to get pushed back in, and these boxes get stacked and pushed back in. And it's not bad. If I was on stream, this would be much more interesting, but I'm not, because I'm about to shut the camera off and go to nap time, sleep bed. After I charge this. Where can I charge this? I have a wire here. Actually, I have 2 extra batteries for this GoPro. I should bring them. Here you are. Think I'll remember this tomorrow? Just take that. Nothing else. Are you even charging? Is this even charging? That doesn't make any sense because that's not lit up. Alright, I'm gonna fix my shit and go sleep soon, boom.